that 26K mark. Let's see whether today we can make a dash at least closer to that mark or not. Yesterday, of course, we settled around the 25,900 print for the Nifty futures. Let's see whether today is the day or not, given that the FI momentum as well seems to be slightly tilting in our favor. Flat for the Nifty Bank right now, quiet pretty much for the benchmark indexes as well, just around the 25,897 mark as we speak. A tad bit better, if you will, for the broader end of the market, the mid and the small cap indexes. And then let's just check in on all the newsmakers this morning. We've been flagging off Marico. They're looking to acquire a 75% stake in Skynetic, a Vietnam-based beauty brand, for about 262 crore rupees. Ipca Labs, Sambal Steel Tubes, these are all stocks which are in focus. And then, of course, City Union Bank, given that RBI has approved Vijay Anand as the MD and CEO. There's Gravita India, there's RailTel, Seagull India. All these are newsmakers this morning, like we were flagging off. Two earnings reactions, and let's check in on what's happening on Enoro Pharma this morning. That's been reacting to the numbers. Then, of course, there's Pfizer, Happiest Minds, GSK Pharma. These are all earnings reactions. A lot more tempered for Pharma, mildly higher as we speak, around that 1200 odd level in trade. Pfizer, Happiest Minds, GSK Pharma, these are all earnings reactions, as is Naveen Fluorine. That, I think, is the big dhamaka, which has seen a blowout set of numbers, both in terms of margins, the profitability as well. Naveen Fluorine gaps up about 4.5% as we speak right now. Other than that, there's also, news flow, or rather earnings impact on a PNC Infra, on a Newland Labs, on Texmaco, Trident, wherein the numbers have been weak. And you can see that effect play out in the markets today, as we speak right now. A lot of earnings anticipated today, like we were flagging off, whole host of numbers which are due, starting off with, of course, Titan, there's Britannia. Look out for what these numbers are and what they actually hold up for us. There's Apollo Hospitals, there's Eicher Motors as well, which is slated for its numbers. And most of these stocks are going quiet into their numbers, other than, of course, Apollo Hospitals, which is holding up 0.5%. What about the high flyers from yesterday? A Kalyan Jewellers, SBI, a Crompton. Let's check in on those names. Kalyan Jewellers takes a bit of a breather. It's down about 4/10, mildly higher for SBI, now touching 1150. And Crompton is still seeing gains about 0.5% higher as we speak.
Yes, no big buzzers on the Nifty 50 index, expectedly so, but the IT index is looking mildly weaker, if I can call it that, in the early minutes of trade. We'll see whether that weakness sustains or whether we can reverse that. The Nifty Bank also now has slid. It's absolutely flat, in fact, the Nifty Bank. So I'm not sure as to whether the Nifty can hold this level, given that there's no support coming in from either IT or the banking index. But the Nifty small cap, that is extremely resilient in trade today. It's up 0.6%, continues to be in a zone of its own again. The interesting piece is that we had a very good move on the small cap index yesterday, 2.5% higher. So it's actually building on the gains of yesterday. Defense, pharma, are probably the only two sectors really standing out, which are significant and meaningful. Auto and realty building on the gains on yesterday, 1/3% and 1/4% higher respectively. The IT index down 1/3, the PSU banking index down 1/4%. So that's broadly the way in which the tilt is. Okay, IT has flattened now in terms of the move. Kunal, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's a very flat start for the index. Again,